Good afternoon. My name is Julia Chandler, and I'm a class marshal from Lowell House.
And I'm Blake Carissa, and I'm the proud representative from Winthrop House. Today, Julia and I have the great honor of introducing one of the political visionaries of our time. Recently, this individual has had good reason to survey the prospects of women seeking political office, drawing on the advice of female gubernatorial candidates and political consultants like James Carville to determine what it will take to put a woman in the White House.
Indeed, President Clinton has much in common with one of this year's Ivy orators. Only she's Canadian. Born and raised in Toronto and now a proud resident of Lowell House, she concentrated in women, gender, and sexuality studies and wrote her senior thesis on female political candidates. She's happy to send a copy home with President Clinton. And will even print it on acid-free double-bond paper if you'd like. She directed the PBHA mentoring program Strong Women, Strong Girls, among many other campus pursuits, but is most proud of the 2 houseplants she has cultivated over her 4 years at Harvard. She hopes they are out there watching her today. Without further ado, please join us in welcoming Tracy Nowski as she discusses Greatest Expectations.
Good afternoon, classmates, family and friends, faculty and administrators, President Clinton, siblings, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, tall people, short people, and people of average height. With our commencement nearly upon us, I know that you all came here this afternoon with a lot of questions on your minds. Will my Beirut table fit in the car? Will there be a goodie bag filled with candy attached to my diploma? And who is this Clinton guy that everybody's talking about? I too have a question. Will the huge candy-filled goodie bag that President Clinton gave me fit in the car? I used to have a lot more questions, but as a women's studies concentrator, Larry Summers answered most of mine a while ago. Yet in the midst of senior week, another question dawned on me. I don't actually remember when. Maybe it was during one of Nate Dern's 300 performances at the Senior Talent Show. But anyway, I started to wonder, did Harvard live up to the expectations that we had when we arrived here 4 years ago? The way I see it, expectations are a lot like babies. People sometimes have them, and there's not a lot you can do about it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get all deep and reflective on you. I know that at least half of you are still hungover, and the other half have no idea who the hell Nate Dern is. Okay, so why don't we do this instead? I'll offer you my take on the whole expectations thing, and then you can either agree with me, but never admit it, or disagree with me and openly mock me afterward. It's just like being in section, only this time, you aren't sitting beside the smelly kid. Well, I mean, at least one of you is sitting beside him, but please don't raise your hand if you are. His family is here, and this is supposed to be a happy day. I expected, like many of you I'm sure, that being at Harvard would make me smarter. Otherwise, this is the most expensive 4-year slumber party I've ever been to. There's no denying that most of us learned some stuff while we were here. Before coming to Harvard, I, for one, had no idea that pickles and cucumbers were in any way related. Don't worry, though. I've got that all under control now. Pickles are boys. Cucumbers are girls. And cucumbers aren't very good at science. But I gotta level with you. I really didn't turn out as smart as I thought I would. And Harvard ain't offering no refund, I'll tell you that for free. Okay, if you're sitting there irritated right now because I used a double negative construction ain't no, well, demanding that Harvard offer a money-back guarantee on the whole smartness thing, you probably got your money's worth. In fact, I bet you're graduating summa cum mocha latte or whatever. With a joint concentration, a secondary field, a foreign language citation, a health policy certificate, and a rash for Mather Lather. Disappointed as I am that this whole education thing didn't work out for some of us, I don't think we should feel all that bad about it, and I'll tell you why. How many people in the world can say that they have a thorough knowledge of how justice operates among dinosaurs and their relatives in Chinese imaginary space? Not too many. Thank you very much, core curriculum. In any case, blaming Harvard for the whole smartness fiasco makes me feel rather like the old woman who lived in a glass shoe and threw stones at her many children, or whatever that idiomatic expression is. You see, I expected, and frankly, I'm sure Harvard did too, that we would be super diligent students and do all of the assigned reading. That didn't last very long. We quickly found alternative ways to read. As mere amateurs during sophomore and junior years, we skimmed the text, pored over Spark Notes, and liberally borrowed language from Wikipedia. But as esteemed seniors, what did we do? Well, we read just one footnote in the text. And then we came to class and made a comment something like this. Yeah, so, I hear what you're saying about Foucault's construction of discursive power structures, but I think you're blatantly disregarding his offhand reference to state-sanctioned biopower in the footnote on page 115. Did anyone else make note of that or reflect on it? This is followed by a steady, evil glare at the freshmen who were earlier making obnoxious, legitimate comments. Thankfully, we all know that intelligence isn't everything in life. Good looks count for a whole lot, too. So for those of us who didn't turn out so well on the whole smartness dimension, Harvard has done something really clever to ensure our customer satisfaction, which is to convince us that we are, indeed, physically attractive. Unfortunately, this only holds true in comparison with one another. Remember when you got your freshman Facebook and you sat there flipping through it judgmentally? And then you exclaimed aloud to your roommates, "There are like seriously only 4 hot people at this whole school." All the while thinking to yourself that you were definitely one of them. Newsflash! All of your roommates were thinking the same thing, that they were one of the 4 fine pieces of ass on this campus. And you had 5 roommates. Undeterred, however, by the vagaries of statistics and the reality of what I actually look like, my newfound awareness of my absurd good looks generated the expectation that I would find my soulmate at Harvard. That high SAT scoring, socially awkward but upwardly mobile, special someone meant just for me. Or, at the very least, some sort of big man on campus. You know, the kind that gets scoped in FM and doesn't need to cut out the article. I know some of you found love here. And rest assured, I'm real delighted for you. Just can't wait to see your little double legacy babies spitting up on the steps of Widener as you get ready to saunter over to the admissions office and tell them how well Cornelius Vanderwall III is doing on his level 8 flashcards. You may think I sound bitter. And it's because I am. Even if I was not meant to find true love here, I still expected to meet a new, diverse group of incredible Harvard students every single day of college. Yet, on high noon, on October 4th, 2003, we all simultaneously stopped introducing ourselves to each other in Annenberg. What happened? Did I miss the memo from the freshman dean's office? Dear class of 2007, it's 4 weeks into your college career, and you're probably as popular as you're gonna get. Don't talk to strangers in the dining hall, even if they look like Bill Clinton and are holding big bags of candy. Your acne scars are looking an awful lot better, though. Hope you're well. Love and hugs, the freshman dean's office. As a Canadian, I expected the Harvard of America to embody ideals of liberty and freedom, and was surprised to find instead that Harvard ruthlessly dominates our free will. No rational human being would choose to eat over 2,000 meals from HUDs, even with a regular Felipe's vitamin supplement. So why did we do it? Pavlovian conditioning. You know how when you swipe into the dining hall, the little machine goes beep, 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 and all of a sudden saliva pours into your mouth and you're on an unrelenting quest for golden nuggets like they're the last source of sustenance on Earth? That's right, little Harvard student. Step right up and drink the Kool-Aid. Everybody's doing it. No, literally. We are 22 years old and they're still making us drink Kool-Aid? Something really isn't right here. And I bet you anything Steven Pinker has something to do with it. I hope that you've started to brace yourselves, because we're gonna be hearing an awful lot of highfalutin hooey when we graduate tomorrow. You know, all that stuff. I think actually Dean Gross said it. Advance knowledge, serve others, promote justice, get your freak on. Amidst all the platitudes, I know what you're really thinking. Tracy, homegirl, you gotta give it to me straight. So here's the real deal, class of 2007. Harvard may not have lived up to our great expectations, but on the whole, I think it did a damn fine job. Bear in mind, however, that we only have a few more hours left together. So you'd do best to find those folks in our class who are going to be rich and powerful, and then kick them in the shins. It's the only way to guarantee they'll remember you. Congratulations, good luck, and thank you.